SDFC getting back to it with some much needed time off after last week's 3 games in 7 days. But this week right here, it's a rivalry game against the LA Galaxy. We got our first ever win in match day 1 against this squad. And now it's time to whoop feet again, but this time at Snapdragon Stadium. But how have SDFC and LA Galaxy progressed this season since match day 1? What should SDFC watch out for in this game? And who gonna win this game? And by how much? This is the Penalty Kick Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Gio, and I am amped to get EA Sports back in the game because I was not at Snapdragon last weekend to watch the Sporting Kansas City game, but best believe I'll be at Snapdragon for this So-Clasico. We already beat LA Galaxy and LAFC this season. So let's continue to show everyone we the kings of SoCal. If you've been watching the MLS, if you've been keeping up with the MLS at all, the LA Galaxy have not been looking great this year. This is the former champs. They won it last year. This year, they ain't winning much. Galaxy have zero wins this year. Like none. They literally have 4 points, and all of those points came off draws. As you know, we've been looking real good. We've been third in the Western Conference. We've been one of the top goal scoring teams, top 5 in goals. We've been doing our thing in San Diego. And if you look at some of the stats that I am going to throw up on the screen, LA Galaxy is struggling. I mean, just look at how many goals they've allowed this season. They've allowed 33 goals. The next closest team has allowed 25 goals. That is insane to be that bad, to where the second worst team in the league doesn't even sound that bad. That's how bad you are. They are beyond horrible. And peep this. Let me list some things off. They are the worst team in the Western Conference. They are worst in goals allowed. They are worst in goal differential in the entire league. And they are literally just hands down the worst team in the league. And yes, they are the worst team in the MLS based off points. It is insane to see how much they've dropped off as a team considering where they were last year. And 11 days ago, they played the New York Red Bulls and lost 7-0. 7 goals in a soccer game? They should be relegated. I mean, they should probably create relegation just for this team. LA Galaxy needs to get out of this league. Hey, we'll take it easy. We'll take it easy. But also, this is the crazy one. This is the crazy one. They are the first team in MLS history, to lose a game when their opponent has 0 shots on goal. But not only 0 shots on goal, 0 shots for the entire game. They played Sporting Kansas City. They lost 1-0, and Sporting Kansas City had 0 shots. They went from champs to chumps real quick. But I need to calm down. You know, I like to talk my trash, especially to the LA folk. All love, but hey, when it comes to sport, we you know, SD, LA, we don't get down like that. But every game a new day. Every game is another opportunity to be a new team. So I don't want SDFC to sleep on this team. I don't want us to get over cocky, over conceited that we go into this game, underestimate this team, and then we get a whooping. I don't want that. I want us to do the exact opposite, to know that, hey, this team is struggling. This team can't find their form. And we need to make sure that we keep it that way because of how good we are, how good we play, how intense we come out. Because you can't sleep on a team. LA Galaxy played LAFC last week, or actually a few days ago, and it was a 2-2 draw. So they're not dead in the water. We can't just write off this team like they don't know how to play. And in their last 2 games, they have 4 goals. So they've been finding at least some goal scoring form over the last 2 games. So we can't underestimate them as a team, and we can't underestimate some of their players. And a player that they're truly missing is Ricky Puig. And if you watched the MLS last year, which I did not watch much of because MLS, I'm more of a international soccer fan, but I love me some SDFC. So this year it's on. But Ricky Puig was probably their best player, the player that is the engine to that team, the player that makes all the good things happen. He is just a classy player for the MLS. He is out for at least most of the season, if not all the season, with injury. So I think that's been hurting this team really, really bad. But someone has been stepping up lately, and this someone is an absolute legendary baller. Marco Reus. He's a 3-time Bundesliga Player of the Year. He scored both goals when LA Galaxy played LAFC a few days ago. And one of those goals was absolutely tantalizing. It was a free kick that no goalkeeper could have stopped. He has class. He has ability. He has what he needs to make a difference in the game. But where is he going to play? I was checking the lineups the last 2 games. Last game versus LAFC, he played at the center attacking midfielder, his more traditional role. It was a 4-2-3-1. He played the center attacking midfielder. The game prior, they played a 4-3-3, and he played in the striker position. So he acted kind of like Valakati. Valakati on our team, more of a midfielder, obviously, but sometimes plays striker, likes to drop back and then facilitate, and then people run kind of around him. He's more of a dropping striker, right? Royce can do that. I think that's something to watch out for. Where are they going to play him? Because that's going to dictate their style of play and how many people they have attacking. If he plays up front, I think he's going to be more of a dropping striker so he can help facilitate. If he's a center attacking midfielder, then, he's going to drive a little bit more and bring the ball from deeper to move forward instead of maybe more so with his back towards goal when he's a striker. So that could be something. I do think he's going to play in the center attacking midfielder position. I think he's just, number one, better there. And I think after watching the LAFC, LA Galaxy game, he looked dangerous. Again, he had both the goals. He was involved in everything good that happened. So we need to watch out for him. But watching out for him means game planning against him. And I said this when we played LA Galaxy in Matchday 1 in my pregame episode. I said, he's old, right? And if you're playing midfielder, you have to run usually a lot. So make him run. Make him work if he has to play defense. Push him left to right, forward and back when we have the ball. So he has to run. So he loses his legs. But also, when we're on defense, I really want Godoy. I want Godoy to be our enforcer, and I think he has stepped up as our enforcer. I want him to nip at Marco Reus's heels. I always want to see Godoy pushing back on Marco Reus so Marco Reus can't turn. So Marco Reus can't dribble. So Marco Reus can't pass freely, because I want him to always think backwards instead of being able to turn, go forward, turn, pass the ball, turn to facilitate. That is how we can wear him down. That is how we can make sure he is not involved and he's non-existent like he was in game 1. This is exactly what we did in game 1. I want a repeat of that recipe. But also, beyond that, I just want SDFC to control this game. I want to see 60+% possession, right? I want us to control it. 20+ shots. I want our front 3 to get theirs. 33 goals allowed, the worst in the MLS. We need to eat. And I think this could be a big game for Chucky. Chucky's been a little off with his finishing. He's had opportunities, which I'm sure he'll tell you that he could have finished, even though they might have been a little bit of a difficult chance. But he's that good, and he's just been a little bit off with his shooting touch. I think this is where Chucky gets his groove back. This is where Chucky finds his shooting form. I expect him to get at least 1 goal this game, but also Why not Dreer? Dreer can eat and get a goal or some goals. Why not Mighton? I can see him getting some goals because you know our front three are going to attack. You know this team is going to attack. And obviously, LA Galaxy are going to have holes. We need to exploit those holes. But also, even though you might have more possession, even though you might have more shots, don't get caught on the counter. LA Galaxy against LAFC, most of their dangerous stuff came off counterattacks. So make sure you extinguish those counters. Don't give up sloppy play, a horrible turnover, which then allows them to run and facilitate. So SDFC has to get this game, right? Like, worst team in the league. We're one of the best teams in the league. We're at home. We've already beat this team. We have 7 days rest now, and we went through a gauntlet. We're tough tested. SDFC gets this game. They need to get this game, and they need to show that we are the best teams in Southern California. We are not only one of the best teams in Southern California, we're one of the best teams in the gosh darn league. So SDFC getting this win, they're going to take it 3-0 at a minimum, and proving without a doubt we going towards the top. We making the run for the title this year.